Soltis. A running back and linebacker from Lakewood, number 8, Landon King. A running back and linebacker from McDonald Central, number 9, Daniel Fritz. A quarterback and defensive back from Owen Whitby, number 15, Dominic Sherwood. A running back and linebacker from Bruce, number 16, Levi Nightingale. A quarterback and linebacker from Zion, number 17, Gavin Reynolds. A wide receiver and defensive back from Zion, number 18, Jerome Boucher. An offensive lineman and defensive lineman from Florence, number 21, Logan Koski.
Okay, well, let's get you sent over. So those four. Get that down.
A running back and linebacker from Phillips, number 23,
now we
Shane
decided to watch. Come on.
A running back and defensive back from Owen Whitby, number 27, Mason Jay. A quarterback and linebacker from Osaki, number 30, Luke Smith. An offensive lineman and linebacker from Owen Whitby, number 34, Colin Fritz. An offensive lineman and linebacker from Florence, number 36, Bryson Kelly. An offensive lineman and defensive lineman from Clayton, number 50, Alex Schrader. An offensive lineman and defensive lineman from Wasaki, number 51, Tommy Phillips. An offensive lineman and defensive lineman from Dillon, number 53, Jody Shisha. A running back and linebacker from Shell Lake, number 55, Brock Mason. An offensive lineman and defensive lineman from Dillon, number 56, Gavin Moore. An offensive lineman and defensive lineman from New Auburn, number 74, Nate Fetty. And a wide receiver and defensive back from McDonald Central, number 80, David Anderson. The head coach for the North Squad from Dillon, Robin Rosemeyer. Assistant coach from Clayton, Richard Croce. Assistant coach from Clayton, Jordan LeBlanc. Assistant coach from Flambeau, Todd Roll. Tommy Talia. Ladies and gentlemen, your 8-man North Squad. Now let's meet our South participants. Number 0, Andrew Munson. A defensive lineman from Green Bay Lutheran, number 1, Reed Nelson. A wide receiver from Abundant Life St. Ambrose, number 2, Jacob Kuhn. A quarterback from Abundant Life St. Ambrose, number 3, Jonah Kuhn. A linebacker from Lena STAA, number 4, Tyler Shallow. A linebacker from Highland, number 6, Wes Crazinger. A linebacker from Fort Edwards, number 7, Brendan Beck. A defensive back from Highland, number 9, John Reichmeyer. A wide receiver from Elkhart Lake, number 11, Brody Feldman. A wide receiver from Newton Paplet, number 17, Carson Rice. A linebacker from Lena STAA, number 20, Calvin Peters. A defensive lineman from Highland, number 21, Jackson McGuire. A wide receiver from Alma Center Lincoln, number 22, Ben Ross. A running back from Montello, number 42, Xander Jones. A defensive back from Oakfield, number 28, Mitchell Moser. A defensive lineman from Belmont, number 34, Chance Reeder. An offensive lineman from Abundant Life St. Ambrose, number 50, Calvin Gallery. And offensive lineman from Highland, number 52, Tucker Degenhart. And offensive lineman from New Catholic, number 56, Evan Green. And offensive lineman from Wild Rose, number 77, Julian Martinez. A tight end from Owen Bancroft, number 88, Aiden Phillips. And a defensive lineman from Oakfield, number 99, Alex Berger. The head coach for the South Squad from Newman Catholic, Paul Michelin. Assistant coach from Lena STAA, Tyler Beeler. Assistant coach from Highland, Clint Howlett. Assistant coach from Highland, Jason Scanlon. Assistant coach from Newman Catholic, Carl Thorpe. And managers from Newman Catholic, Jackson Michelin and Parker Michelin. Ladies and gentlemen, your South 8-man All-Stars.
All right, and a hearty good evening out there, football fans. It's football season, isn't it, on this July 18th? Football season in Wisconsin is back, right? Yeah, absolutely. As we get ready for this North and South 8-player All-Star game, let's turn it back to the field as we commemorate, it looks like, a member of U.S. military and his family.
Escorting the Shotsko family is Marie Sergeant Cahias. At just 3 days old, Reagan underwent open heart surgery to repair her heart. However, doctors soon determined that her best chance for survival would be a heart transplant. For the first 6 months of her life, Reagan remained hospitalized at Children's, Wisconsin. On December 6, 2023, she received the best St. Nick present ever, a new heart. The transplant went well, and Reagan was finally able to go home 20 days post-surgery. She still sees a team of specialists at Children's, but a year and 3 months post-transplant, spunky little Reagan is doing great.
Always look for the white.
With the Shotsko family, please also welcome Sandy Carly and Claire Carter. And now, bring forward the team captains for both teams for the ceremonial coin toss.
All right, gang, Jason Zaleski back here as they get ready for our coin toss today. And welcome in our crew. Again, my name's Jason Zaleski. I will give you the best play-by-play known to mankind, or at least the best that I can give. The chat box, those of you watching on a mobile device on YouTube, the chat box is open. If I get a name wrong, just help me out, let me know, hit me up in the chat box, or anything else that you want to talk about within the rules of civilization on the YouTube chat box, so we are able and ready to talk to you here tonight. Katie Lecton on production today. Jacob Link, our sideline reporter. We will hear from Jacob probably in a few minutes. Ben Colombe is down and around somewhere. He's shooting highlights of our game today. Highlights available by Sunday around noon. And those highlights will be on our Facebook channels, highlights of this game. And, of course, tomorrow, the small and large 11-player format, we will turn that over to FanDuel Sports tomorrow. But for today, you get Zaleski Sports. We hope you enjoy. We do happen to be the largest sports broadcaster in the state of Wisconsin. And we are here in our 5th year and so excited, our 5th straight year of broadcasting this 8-player North-South All-Star game here today. All right, so looks like the North has won the toss, and they have deferred. And so the red South All-Stars look to receive here. We'll get our official from the White Hat, our official. Actually, the South has won the toss. They have deferred. So the South will kick off. To get us started, we will see the North offense first, and let's do this, Katie. Let's take our first commercial break here. We'll give ourselves a breath of fresh air. We've still got over 7 minutes on the pregame clock, so we're going to step aside for 2 minutes, and we'll be right back right after this on Zaleski Sports.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and Airhead Towables. Lower prices on big-name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline Motor Oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
High school sports and entertainment, there's nothing like it, you can't contain it. Hungry. Friday nights with hometown pride, Zaleski Sports is statewide hype. Cameras roll, the crowds go crazy, live stream gold, it's never lazy. Play so big, you'll replay it twice, coverage bold, it's really nice. High school sports and entertainment, there's nothing like it, you can't contain it. Hungry. Hometown hype, we lift it higher. Zaleski Sports, we bring the fire.
And we are back here, UW Oshkosh, on the banks of the Fox River here in Oshkosh. This is the home of the UW Oshkosh Titans football team, soccer, field hockey, what have you. They got it all out here. But this is football night here tonight. We will go down to Jacob Link here in just a minute. But first, it is kickoff time, and it's a squibber that the North will take at its own 35-yard line. That kick handled by Devin Soltis out of Hurley. And the North All-Stars will start there, and we will turn it down to the sideline. Jacob Link to get us started.
Will take over.
Thanks, Jason. You know, right now this game just got underway, the 49th edition of the WFCA All-Star Game, the first of many All-Star Games this weekend. 8-man, of course, is today. As we, of course, just got underway, but, you know, the North has won the last 3 All-Star games in the 8-man, so the South is looking to, you know, maybe squeak one out here after losing the last 3 years. Jason, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jacob. As the handoff goes over the left side, and that is Evan, that was Evan Groen out off to that left side. I didn't get Evan as a running back on my depth chart, but what the heck, Evan for 2 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and 8 upcoming for the boys from the North. So they settle in at the 42-yard line. Quick pass out here to the right side. That pass is hooked up and complete, as that is Andrew Munson out of North Crawford. And Munson is going to pick up about 3 yards off the pass from Jared Schultz. And it looks like it's Tyler Shallow. Oh, hang on. I see what's going on. Yeah, Jared Schultz with the with the pass. Chad Kinsella with the reception. Boy, oh boy. You know, I haven't practiced yet with the team. Maybe that's what it is. Here's Schultz back to pass. Schultz now will leak out to the left. He's got the first down in his sights, and Schultz will rumble ahead. It's a gain of 8 for Schultz and a first down for the North All-Stars. Let's take a look at the off receiver, David Anderson, at the other wide spot, along with Jerome Mageshik. Bryson Kelly at center. The guards are Alex Schradel, Joey Skrusek, and the tight end, David Anderson. So that is the North offense. Take a look at the South defense here coming up in just a bit, as Schultz is going to keep this one himself, and he's going to keep it a run of 12 for Schultz. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the defense of the South. Defensively, here's a handoff right up the middle. And that goes to Brock Nason. Nason's going to pick up 9 to go along with his carry of 2 just to start us off. So a couple carries, 11 yards for Brock. So it's a 2nd and short now for the North. Schultz ready. Schultz will roll left, and he's going to dump it off, and that's going to be good for a first down out to Brock Nason. And actually way better than a first down. A big pickup for North. I'm going to give him, we'll give him 14 yards on the pass reception. Out to Nason, his first catch of the day. And it is first down and 10 at the 11. North moving right down the field on this South defense. Jared Schultz with Nason to his right. Kick up the heel and will keep himself. He's got room to the left. He's got the cone, and he's in. It's a touchdown for the North All-Stars. Made quick work of the South defense, an 11-yard touchdown run for Nason, and it is 6-0 North. 31 yards on the drive on the ground for Schultz alone. 11 yards for Nason. A couple of pass completions. 7-play drive. And 6 for North. They will line up for a 2-point conversion. One man in motion is Kinsella. Now Schultz will spin to his right. Look under pressure and will throw to the end zone. That pass is going to be intercepted. Tyler Shallow got it, and that conversion fails. And it is 6-0 with 9:26 to play. Here in the first quarter, we will see the South All-Stars on offense when we come back right after this on Zaleski Sports.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eau Claire.
Jane, I'm Steve from security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health card.
As we come back here to Oshkosh, we are set to see the South All-Stars on offense for the first time today. Jonah Kuhn at quarterback. Xander Jones will handle the ball. Aiden Phillips, one receiver. Brody Feldman, the other. Jacob Kuhn in the slot, and the line goes like this. From the center, Calvin Gonering, Tucker Dagenhart to his left, and Evan Groen to his right. Those are the 8 on offense for the South All-Stars. And the North with 7-play drive. taking just over 2 minutes. This is Squibber, is going to be picked up at the 23-yard line. And headed this way, one juke put on there by Brendan Beck. And Beck and the South All-Stars will start at their own 35-yard line. And let's take a look at the North defense. So the North lines up like this defensively. Dan Fritz at the middle linebacker, outside linebacker Luke Smith, joined by Devin Soltis. Up front, Tommy Phillips, Gavin Moore, and the defensive backs, Mason Gay, Landon King, and Dominic Sherwood for the North defensively. And we'll get a handoff first thing here. This is going to go to Brody Feldman. Feldman around the corner on the jet sweep, and will gain 7. So Feldman picks up 7. First play of the game successful for Paul Micklig and his South All-Stars. Again, Robin Rosemeyer, Hall of Famer, is going to be inducted into the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame in April. And if we have time, and I think we will at halftime, we'll show you parts of my interviews with both the coaches during our halftime presentation. So here is Kuhn, Abundant Life Christian product. Going to hand off up the middle. That handoff goes to Tyler Shallow. And Shallow's going to pick up about 6 on the play, and that's a first down for the South. So just across the 50-yard line are the South. Kuhn in the pistol, ready. And handoff is going to come to Feldman, and Feldman going to rumble all the way across the 40-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 12. And actually that was Jones on the carry, so Xander Jones gets his first carry. And big number 42's got 12 on his first carry here tonight. So 1st and 10 inside now of North territory, down to the 37-yard line are the South. Kuhn ready. Swing pass coming this way to Beck, and Beck will lunge forward. It's going to be a gain of a handful. Give him 3 on the pass reception. These are unofficial stats, folks. I've got eyes and I got a pencil. That's how they come to be. Official stats are kept 2 booths down. We'll get you fully updated officially at halftime. Here's Kuhn on the counter. Kuhn will race ahead. He's got a pickup of 12 and a first down for the South. And an offensive battle perhaps here is what we're finding out on each team's first drive here tonight. So 1st and 10 now from the 26-yard line, and Jonah Kuhn, again, Abundant Life, St. Ambrose, state basketball champion, Jonah and Jacob Kuhn. But Jonah Kuhn in here at quarterback. Aiden Phillips now in motion. And handoff is going to go to Jones. Jones broke 1 tackle and spins forward, a gain of 6 for Xander Jones. So a couple of carries and 18 yards for Jones here. Early work. It is just after 6 o'clock. And I know we were promised a 6 p.m. kickoff, but Katie, what happened? Yeah. I think we had a 5:54 kickoff. Oh, well. It's always football time where I live. Doesn't matter when we kick off. We just love some football happening. Here's Kuhn, back to pass, straight drop. Now drifts left, finds Phillips. Phillips lunging forward, touchdown South. 20-yard pitch and catch, Kuhn to Phillips. And that's the touchdown score for the South. They even things at 6, and extra point, 2-point conversion pending. But Aiden Phillips caught that ball on the left side, and all 6'6", 6'8", whatever, with cleats or without cleats, you can make your own measurements, was not going to be stopped. And here is the keep by Feldman, and Feldman is in. 2-point conversion for Feldman. And it'll be the South All-Stars taking the lead with 6:28 to play in the first quarter. Both teams possess, both teams score. It is 8-6 South on Zaleski Sports.
The work that you put in is the work you're going to get out. It starts in the weight room, focusing on those fundamentals, whether it's throwing form, hitting, running form. So that way when you come to the game, you're not really thinking about them. In my sessions with Carter at WPI, I kind of learned how to be very strong and very flexible at the same time. High pressure situations, the world's pushing down on you and you're trying to push back. Don't let the moment get too big.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making And that may have been either a missed squib or an onside attempt. In either case, not sure. We've got an update from the sideline. Here's Jacob Link.
1st and 10 North at their own 49.
So both squads so far have been really relying on this running game. On the one side, Xander Jones, and on the other side, Dominic Sherwood for North. And even though the South took the lead on that last drive with a passing touchdown, it's been mostly on the ground game. Both guys during last season averaged more than 100 rushing yards a game. And right now, both defenses for the North and South are going to have to look to stop the run in this game if, they want to have any shot at winning this contest.
All right, thank you, Jacob, as we are 2nd and 5 after a 5-yard carry from Jared Schultz. So that's got the North set up 2nd and 5 from inside of South territory. Again, as we were coming back from commercial, I think it may have just been a miss on the squib. I don't think it was an onside attempt, but perhaps a miss on the squib. And those things do happen, especially at an all-star game. Carry there didn't get far for Gannon Reynolds. Siren Dragon is Gannon. Give Gannon a gain of 1 on his first carry tonight. It's going to be 3rd and 4 now for the North. Here's Schultz now, back to pass, straight drop. Throw over the middle is too tall. Intended target there. He slaps his helmet, does Gilman's Chad Kinsella, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. You'd figure with kind of the gift on the missed kickoff, go for it here on 4th and short from your opponent's 44-yard line. Speaking of Gilman, there's Caitlin, our friend Caitlin, cheering from Gilman, watching the broadcast at home tonight. Hi, Caitlin. Nice of Caitlin to join. 5:20 left in the first. Here's 4th and a long 3 for the North. It's going to be a keep, and it's going to be a successful one. Still on the run to the 5. Touchdown, Jared Schultz. Schultz goes all 44 yards on the 4th and 3. He's got 2 touchdowns, 5 carries, 80 yards. And Katie Lecton next to me knows that he's a contender for our first half leader coming up at halftime. We can show you guys some more close-ups of these kids out here running around. But man, Schultz, Northwood Solon Springs, runs that one in from 44 yards out on the 4th down. 2-point conversion, I formation. Schultz again on the keep, gets a good block, and he's in for the 2-point conversion, sprung free by Joey Serchuk. I know I messed that up earlier out of Gilman. Joey leads the way, and it is 14-8 North. 30-second timeout. Back for more football after this on Zaleski Sports.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
Couple of drives for the North, couple of touchdowns, and both of them punched in by Northwood Solon Springs' Jared Schultz, 6 foot, 195-pound quarterback here today. I didn't get a chance to see Northwood Solon Springs play during the regular season. I would imagine Jared probably was at the quarterback during the fall also. Sure looks like it. If not, he should have been. What was the coach thinking? Here's the squibber fielded just past the 20-yard line, and ahead of steam there by Brendan Beck. He'll bring it out to the 41, and the South will set up shop for the second time here this quarter. It's been all offense. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns in this game. All offense. We'll see if anybody's defense is interested in stepping up and putting a stop to this offensive show. But the South All-Stars will head out for the second time. It was an Aiden Phillips 20-yard touchdown catch that has the South on the board. 14-8, though, North in the lead. So here's Kuhn now, empty set. Receivers split 2 by 2, and Kuhn taking his time. Now will step back and throw. That ended for Ben Ross, Alma Center Lincoln product, but thrown behind Ross. It'll be second down and 10 coming up for the South. And the other thing I'd like to mention here, with 5:05 left to play in this first quarter, we are raising money and awareness for Children's Hospital. You can find out more information at the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association website. And if we think of it, Katie, we'll put up that website at halftime too. We'll put that up there. We've got a lot going on here. Katie knows, and most people don't. But it takes a lot to get one of these broadcasts off the ground. We've been working our fingers to the bone here all afternoon, trying to put on the best show that we can for you. Nice run from Xander Jones. It'll be a gain of 9 for Jones on 3 carries. He's got 27 yards, and it's a 3rd and 1 for the South. Mentioned Paul Micklig, the head coach for the South, assisted by Tyler Beland, Clint Havlick, Jason Scanlon, and Carl Thorpe. See what the coaching brain from the South has here on the 3rd and 1 as Kuhn puts 1 in motion, and the motion man will get it. And that's going to be a first down. Brody Feldman with the first down, steps out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Does Feldman. Gain of 14 on the play for Feldman, his second run today. He's got 21 yards on a pair of totes. 1st and 10 now from the North 35. Break for me means a job for you, which is let all your friends, neighbors, and strangers know how you found us here on Zaleski Sports, and send them a message. You can do a snap face, a telegram, a face twit, whatever. Send them a message, let them know how you found us, and they can watch live free sports right along with all of us here on Zaleski Sports. You know what I'm saying. Send them a message. Do people call anybody anymore? Katie says no. Okay, well, I don't know. Send them a text. Can you text? WhatsApp. What's the one that's like is WhatsApp like a buffalo? Is that like the logo? What's the one that's like a buffalo? I don't know. There's so many of them. I have no idea. I still call people. Let them know how you found us. So let's see if we can get some more people to watch this game. This is a good one. An offensive showcase here so far. Here is Kuhn on the quarterback draw, and he is hauled down from behind by number 51, Tommy Phillips out of Wasaki. Gain of 1 for Kuhn on his second carry. Some oohs and ahs from the crowd You know, in the NFL, you'll get a horse collar, maybe kind of a tackle on that. I don't know all the rules, but I'm not sure if that's a thing in high school. Didn't look like it was a thing. One mom shouting defense out there. That's what we like to hear. Get in the game, mama. Swing pass outside goes to Beck, and Beck will rumble ahead for 3 yards, according to me. 2 catches, 6 yards for Beck. They've the North defense has had the passing game under wraps, except for that 20-yard touchdown pass. That's the important one, I suppose. Here's 4th down now, 4th and 3. Scoreboard says 2. That looks like 3 to my untrained eye. Long 2, short 3. I don't know. It looks like 3. Kuhn empty set. It's a quarterback draw. A couple plays ago for Kuhn. Defense puts on pressure and in and out of the hands of Phillips. That was a tall drink of water thrown out there for Phillips. You figure that the giraffe-esque shape of Aiden Phillips might be able to bring that one in. But even that was too tall for Phillips. I mean, look at him. He's the tallest kid on the team by far. He's probably been the tallest kid in his class in 2nd grade. But even that was too tall. So turnover on downs. So here the North goes to work. Handoff is a good one. And off and running. This may go the distance, and just stepping out inside the 5-yard line was Brock Nason. Oh, I got to get the abacus out now. How many yards are we talking about here? First, they've got to spot the ball. I'll figure that part out. That was a run of 67 for Nason. Wow. Offense continues here in this All-Star game. So Nason has the North 1st and 10. They lead by 6. 2:25 left here in the first quarter. So 1st and goal from the 5. This will be Schultz to keep. Dances around the backfield, and he'll be pulled down near the line of scrimmage. Zeroing in on the tackle was Wes Krasinger, Lena St. Thomas Academy. St. Thomas Aquinas, right? Maybe it's all of that. St. Thomas Aquinas Academy. We've got a book around here that tells me. So no gain. Bring up 2nd and goal. And this is a throw to the outside. Pass complete to Kinsella. Still on his feet. He had a nose for the end zone, but he's going to come up a yard short after his buddy Gannon Reynolds out of Siren tossed that one to him. And he's going to gain, they're going to mark him at the 2, so it's a gain of 3. He needed 5, got 3. Second pass reception for Kinsella. 3rd and goal from the 2, just over a minute left here in this first quarter. Up the middle, the push, and touchdown North. Brock Nason will finish it off. He'll punch it in from 2. 20-8 North All-Stars. $80 yards for Nason, caps it off with a touchdown on his 4th carry. 80 yards. On the day, on the quarter for Nason. And North will line up for 2. Schultz looking, back of the end zone, and toe tapping and bringing it in is David Anderson, McDonald's Central's. David Anderson, the 2-point conversion is good, and 20-8. As we near the end of the first quarter, North All-Stars out on top here on Zaleski Sports.
At Ridgestop Exteriors, we're more than your average home improvement company. We're your neighbors, and for over 20 years, we've been trusted and proudly serving right here in your community. Customer service is our #1 goal. Call now for your free estimate.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Well, all the lights, the North All-Stars, a light show out here on the field, and here's Jacob Link with more.
Thanks, Jason. North running back Brock Nelson out of Shell Lake has been an absolute unit so far in this contest. He wrestled in the state tournament this year as well, and right now he just extended the North's lead with that rushing touchdown. Across the season, last year he had just under 1,000 yards rushing and had 15 touchdowns. Jason, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jacob. Yeah, and again, added now 80 yards to his football resume here in this All-Star game. 80 yards in the first quarter and a big tackle thrown down. Dominic Sherwood on the hit out of Owen Withy as he brought down Brendan Beck. Yeah, and the Owen Withy crowd here lets out a big cheer. They've got a pair of All-Stars here today, Dominic Sherwood and Mason Gay. All right, so here are the South All-Stars offensively. Let's take a look at the team leaders for the North All-Stars. You've heard the names on the defensive end, and we'll see if Fritz can get in on a tackle here, but we've heard a lot about Jared Schultz. And the carry, and it's a good one down this near side is Xander Jones. And Jones is going to run for about 30 yards. Go ahead, put the North back up again. Let's take a little bit longer look at those fine-looking men there. Jared Schultz, Northwood Solon Springs. Daniel Fritz, McDonald Central. They lead the North here. Take a look at the leaders from the South after this next play. But that was so you make me bring my abacus out here. 29-yard run for Jones on that last carry. He's got 58 on 5 carries, does Xander. Here's Kuhn back to pass. Kuhn down the right side, a little bit too much for Brendan Beck. And let's see. Mr. Jonah Kuhn there out of Abundant Life Christian on the offensive side, quarterback for the South All-Stars. And Calvin Peters leads the defense. Lena St. Thomas on the defensive side is Peters. But after the incomplete from Kuhn, it's going to be 2nd and 10. But that big run for Jones, 35 seconds left in the quarter. Thought maybe they would have went back to that run. Here's a pitch outside to Jones. They do come back to it now, and Jones says, yeah, coach, that's what I'm talking about. Give me 8 more. He's got 66 now on 6 carries. Brings up a 3rd and 2, and that I agree with. I look right down the line here. That's 2 yards every time I've measured 2 yards. So our first quarter could come to an end without a play being run here. We'll see what the South chooses. They do come to the line, 2-1, and that'll do it. First quarter in the books. North All-Stars lead the way as they lead the South 22-8 on Zaleski Sports.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflatiri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Our All-Stars have changed sides, and that's it. But they have changed sides here as we come back. Start of the second quarter, 3rd and 3 for the South. As Kuhn takes the snap, and the handoff comes right up the middle. Shot out of a cannon is Xander Jones. He's going to pick up about 7 on the carry. That is plenty enough for the first down. And the cheer section from Xander's hometown lets out a hearty yell. So a fresh set of downs now for the South. Here's Kuhn now, flips outside to Xander. Xander looking for a hole around that left side, able to make good work there around the corner, turned it up and 9 yards for Jones. You know, and for the North, this has been the hot direction to go. Maybe the South is going to ride some of that heat right now. Speaking of, what a pleasant day here. The last, well, yesterday I thought was downright cold. This morning, Katie, I was wearing a blanket sitting in my chair in my house. I'm a summer baby. I like it hot, but it's very nice. Full sun, but very pleasant. A little bit of breeze for these guys as Jones eludes two would-be tacklers, sheds another down inside the 10 is Xander Jones. 17-yard rumble for Xander. And he's got an even 99 on 9 carries. I said it after that big 50-yard run back to start this drive, and they went to the pass. I would never overrule or think I know more than Paul Miklig about the sport of football, but I just thought that Jones was kind of on a roll there, and might as well hand it off to him again, and they have. So Jones continues to stay hot. Let's see if they go to him here on 1st and goal from the 9. Motion man is Beck. Kuhn floats it out to Phillips, and that's going to head out of bounds. Pass incomplete, intended for Aiden Phillips. That's the guy you want to go to, though, on the fade. It's a guy I like going to on the fade route for sure. Again, on our program, listed as 6'7". Yeah, that's with cleats. But still, 6'7", with or without cleats. That's a good corner target. So 2nd and goal now for the South. Kuhn steadies his offense, again puts Beck in motion, and Beck will take it on the jet sweep. Looking for the pylon. In. Touchdown, South. And I'm going to confirm the number here. That actually was a jet sweep to Jacob Kuhn. So the Kuhn brothers hook up there on the jet sweep. And it is touchdown Jacob Kuhn, a 9-yard touchdown. And South strikes first here in the 2nd quarter. 2-point conversion pending. Pass, here's Phillips again on the fade, and the jump ball is incomplete. And it was defended well in the corner by Mason Gay. Gay comes in at 5'8", giving up almost a foot to Phillips, but no matter. Good defense is still good defense. North, though, continues to lead 22-14, 10 to play before halftime on Zaleski Sports.
Meda Custom Apparel, your local source for quality, custom decorated clothing and products. Discover a wide range of products from corporate casual wear to team uniforms, promotional items, sporting goods, and awards. Don't settle for less. With our in-house production, we will make your name or event stand out with custom sports jerseys, branded cooler bags, and personalized can coolers. Celebrate team success with custom awards and promotional items. At Meda Custom Apparel, we put your brand first. Explore your options today at medacustom.com.
Schultz is about to lead his team out for yet another drive in this contest. He's already accounted for 14 of the 22 points that North has scored in this one. Over the course of last season, he threw for over 1,500 yards, rushed for over 2,000 yards, and he even caught a touchdown pass. He'll be playing at UW River Falls next season, so we'll have to see what he can do on this drive to further this North lead. Jason, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jacob. Good information there. That's why we have him here. And that was Devin Soltis on the return, and Soltis brings it up to the 50. Hurley North Star. is Soltis. So the North leads by 8 with the ball at the 50. They got half a field to work with after the nice return from Soltis. And reverse coming here and running around the corner. Big run here. Still tiptoeing down the sideline as that carry from David Anderson. And Anderson is going to pick up 20 yards on the nose on his first carry of this ball game. So North from the 30. Schultz will keep it himself and has to spin out of some trouble. Backs over the 25-yard line, and a gain of 7 for Schultz. He's got 87 yards on 7 carries. And Schultz had to do a lot of that work himself under pressure from his right. That left side of the defense from the south able to come free. Schultz able to duck out away a 1, a juke and a back pedal, and 7 yards. So from the 24, Anderson in motion. Schultz will keep it himself. Waits, patient, now goes. And another hefty gain from Schultz. Give him 6 on that carry. And it's a first down for the North.
Schultz on the carry again. 1st and 10, North at the South 17.
And it's a first down. So inside the 20 now is the count. The clock wants to start. Our white hat getting the attention of the timer. There it goes. Under 9 now before halftime. Schultz, play action. Now throwback, and there he is. All alone will walk the dog into the end zone. Brock Nason, 17-yard touchdown catch for Nason. So Nason picks up a touchdown. And the North has yet to be stopped, and you can hear that murmur through the crowd right now as to what these North All-Stars have been able to do. They have scored on all 4 possessions here to start this game. Lead by 14. Here is Schultz now. Play action. Oh, and a beauty. Anderson on the corner route in the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. 30-14, North having a good first half, especially on the offensive side. South to receive right after this on Zaleski Sports.
At Nicolay Bank, we believe that our hometown communities are the backbone of what makes Wisconsin special. From Crivets to Manitowoc and Algoma to Grand Chute, you see a thriving community with Nicolay Bank working as a partner, acting not as a corporation, but a community. When we serve together with local entrepreneurs and leaders, great things happen. That is our guiding principle. A strong and successful hometown means a strong and successful Wisconsin. We are proud to be a part of that. Nicolay Bank. Real people, real conversations.
Rich, creamy, and fun. Point Craft Soda. Caffeine-free, made with 100% real sugar. From Stevens Point Brewery.
And the North to kick off here, and a good kick. This one is going to get over the head of the man back there, and that kick, all the credit right there to Brayson Kelly out of Florence. Kelly gave it a ride. He is kicking with the wind there. You know, our national anthem flag movement was almost nothing at the anthem. I look now at it, and it's actually blowing quite a bit. And so that was well done. Able to ride that wind, did Brayson Kelly. And a touchback, so from the 20, the South will start. So Kuhn, motion, flag. This one's going to come back. We had an illegal procedure out there. We didn't quite have it lined up correctly. So they will bring this one. not only bring it back, but move it back 5 yards. It'll still be first down, but going to be 1st and 15. Our officials will consider it. Illegal formation. It's like I said that already, Katie. It was pretty easy to see. And you know what? The guys have been practicing. They practiced on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yesterday. Game today. I actually surprised. That is our first flag. That is a little more surprising than anything. Just with the way that these guys have, how they're able to come together so quickly. They are the best of the best, but even at that, there's a lot of new stuff to learn, even for a real polished student athlete. Here's Kuhn, now throws back across the middle. There was Phillips all alone. Phillips got a block from one, moves past another, past the 40-yard line, and a big pass play there from Kuhn to Phillips. Again, that's Aiden Phillips out of Allman Bancroft. They're going to mark him just shy of a 30-yard gain, so a gain of 28 on the pass play over to Phillips. So what about the penalty? I can get 28 yards, big deal, all right? Here Kuhn again back to pass. He's got all kinds of time. Now rolls right, and at the sideline, pass is going to be hauled in by brother Jacob. So Jonah to Jacob across the 50, go the south. Gain of 15 on the pass reception. Kuhn gets the play from the sideline, come back in, and hey, why not? Go to brother Jacob again. Jacob Kuhn, brother receiver on this near side, bottom of your screen. Haven't heard from Xander Jones yet on this drive, but yeah, there he is, and will get swallowed up in the backfield. There to meet him in the hole is Wasaki's Tommy Phillips, and it's a loss of 1 on the tackle from Phillips. Phillips beat the offensive line in front of him, and again dropped Xander Jones for a loss of 1. Jones will come out. In comes Ben Ross, Alma Center Lincoln. Ross will take his place in the offensive huddle. Or if you're from Canada, the offensive huddle. Yeah, that's how the Canucks say it. Blame Canada. That's kind of what it comes down to. North were confused defensively, and the South are going to take advantage of it. The pass on the slant is complete. Kuhn delivers it. And there is brother Jacob on the pass reception. 13-yard gain on the play. Didn't I say that a moment ago? Okay, keep brother in there. Keep throwing it to him. Yeah. If it works. Xander Jones back in now on the running back end. Play action pass. They fake it to him. Under pressure now is Kuhn. He's going to roll out to his left. Defense will converge. It's going to be a gain of 3 for Kuhn. Spun out of some danger there, did Jonah Kuhn. Pressure was being applied by Logan Koski out of Florence. It was Koski converging. Kuhn spun out of the way and ends up with a gain of 3. Probably ran closer to 30 yards in total, but most of that side to side. So gain of 3, 2nd and 7, 6:42 before the halftime break. We do anticipate hearing from WISports' Travis Wilson at halftime. Nobody knows more about high school football here in Wisconsin than Travis does, so he'll impart some knowledge on us all at the halftime. Jacob Link will talk to him. There's another pass completion, Jonah to Jacob, and that's good for 9 and a first down. Third catch today for Jacob. He's got 3 catches, 37 yards. Get you some official halftime stats towards the end of halftime as well. Kuhn again in the familiar pistol. Handoff goes to Jones, right side. Patiently through the hole and up ahead, gain of about 11. Block sprung by Tucker Degenhardt out of Highland. Degenhardt set him free, and 11 for Jones. He's over 100 yards on the day. 109 on 11 carries for Jones. Clock winds, 5:50 and counting. First and 10 from, no, it's got to be first and goal from the 8. There they go. Now they got our scoreboard updated. So first and goal now for the South. They try to chip into that deficit here a little bit. They trail by 16. North, aside from something crazy happening, probably going to take a halftime lead here. Here's the handoff to Phillips. Phillips is going to be brought down. Gain of 4 on the carry by Phillips. Aiden Phillips sees a load for sure coming around the corner. But as I was told way back when, doesn't matter how big, tall, whatever somebody is, you tackle him at the knees, he's going to go down. That's all you have to do. So under 5 to play now. Kuhn. Motion man is Kuhn. Handoff to Jones. Jones to the outside, and we got a flag coming in late. That would appear to be a holding call. We'll see what the official call is. Jones did bring it down to about the 2. A block in the back is that going to be the official flag after a tackle attempt by Dominic Sherwood. Sherwood actually had Jones by the shirt tail, but on the block in the back, it's all for naught anyway. And it's going to be second and goal from essentially the 15-yard line. Second and goal, long ways to go. So the South come to the line. Second and goal. They mark it now officially at the 14, and whistles on the field. We're going to have a timeout. South calls the timeout. 4:19 to play. More football right after this on Zaleski Sports.
From outdoors to indoors with help from ShedsDelivered.com. It's your one-stop shop for sheds, barns, cabins, garages, greenhouses, chicken coops, and hunting blinds, all crafted by skilled Amish artisans. Headquartered in Loyal, Rod and April make it easy. Just visit ShedsDelivered.com to design your perfect structure. With short lead times and free delivery and installation, Sheds Delivered is the smart choice for outdoor storage. That's ShedsDelivered.com. Go today.
.419 to play. South was on the move. It was a block in the back. It's 2nd and 14 upcoming. And this timeout, South took the timeout just about out of it. We'll go down to Jacob Link for an update.
Well, so far in this one, we've seen the Kuhn to Kuhn combination and Jonah Kuhn and Jacob Kuhn for South as they are right now in the red zone. Both of them have, combined for 22 touchdowns on the season last year, and they may account for another one. As the South looks like they just scored right here. So, Jason, back to you.
All right, yeah, absolutely. Jonah Kuhn with the touchdown pass. And on the receiving end, they get done. That looks, well, let me get a bit clear. Number 6, yeah, that's Wes Krasinger. And Krasinger out of Highland scores it. A 14-yard touchdown catch from Krasinger, and that's why you call the timeout. You call the timeout, you dial up the play, and then you get the big result at the end of it. So touchdown pass for Kuhn, touchdown reception for Krasinger, and the 2-point conversion on the play action. Run and hauled down is Brody Feldman. Feldman gets taken down. And in on the tackle for the North, Devin Soltis and Daniel Fritz both there. We'll step aside for 30 seconds, 4:13 to play, 10-point game here in Oshkosh on Zaleski Sports.
You're tuned in to Better Halves. Mike, what are you looking for?
Skip, I'm not getting older. I'm getting better. I still got big plans for my life and my Medicare.
I know exactly what you want from Medicare. Same as all the other guys. Me!
Hey, Mike, I'm Sheila from Security, and I'm just like you. In fact, I'm from your neighborhood, and I've got a Medicare plan that treats you like you.
Did it just get better in here?
All right, 4:13 left before halftime, and South wasn't done yet. North leads by 10, but nice touchdown drive put in there. Again, it was a 2nd and goal from the 14 after a block in the back, but it was no trouble at all for South. The kickoff here handled at around the 40-yard line, and the North All-Stars will set up just outside the 40 on the return from Devin Soltis. Wes Krasinger out of Highland again caught that 14-yard touchdown pass and coming out of the timeout. So no doubt that play called in that timeout huddle may have been drawn up for the first time, right? You think about going out to the playground, you draw it up in the dirt. That may have been what happened there. As this will be kept by Schultz. And Schultz powers ahead across the 50. It's going to be a gain of 9 for Schultz. He continues to impress on the ground. He's over 100 yards, 102 on 9 carries for Northwood Solon Springs' Jared Schultz. And here's a run up the middle and pulling, dragging, carrying would-be tacklers down the field is Brock Nason. And Nason's going to pick up 13. So 13 there, 93 yards on 5 carries for Nason. So North would not mind at all tacking one on here. Still 3 minutes to play. It's a lot of time. They've got all 3 timeouts to the North All-Stars. Handoff here up the middle and running into a brick wall. And that brick wall goes by the name of Julian Martinez out of Wild Rose. Just 1 yard on the carry. Big Martinez there shut it down. That was Chad Kinsella on the run. First carry today for Kinsella. Goes for 1 little yard. 2nd and 9 now, I formation. Pitch coming this way. Nice run there from Mason Gay. Owen Withy, but it's a holding on the play. So holding is the flag, and that one's coming back. So Gay's run didn't happen. And this will be march back 10. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 19 with 2:23 to play. So here's Schultz now looking. Schultz floats it for Anderson, and the flag is going to come. That's going to be a pass interference as John Dreschmeyer was in coverage, and he was tugging at the jersey of David Anderson. They're going to actually give him a holding penalty. So defensive holding is the call. But you could see Dreschmeyer tugging on Superman's cape there. Dreschmeyer, 5'7" defensive back out of Highland. So 10-yard penalties are exchanged, and we're back to a 2nd and 9. 2:07 to play before the half. And here's Schultz handing off. And another nice run from Nason. Nason's going to gain 6 on the carry. He's over 100 yards. No, he's not. He's at 99. So 99 for Nason. Schultz has 102. So 200 yards total between the two of them. Here's Schultz now. He'll tack on about 4 more. Do they give him the line to gain? Yes. So a 4-yard carry there from Schultz. And it's a first down for the North All-Stars. So 1st and 10, and whistles blow, and it's going to be a timeout North. We will do the same. 1:22 to play. North on the move. They lead by 10 on Zaleski Sports. Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now.
Let's get down to business.
Well, we're going to get down to business here. We've got 82 seconds left in this first half. North leads by 10 with the ball, has it inside the 20, officially spotted at the 19. And North looking for a little bit more here before the halftime break. Make sure to stand by. We will talk to head coach Robin Rosemeyer coming off the field here at halftime. North head coach as play action. Anderson, in and out of the hands. I felt that. I'm cheering for nobody, but I felt that one. Schultz put it there maybe just about 3 inches too far for McDonald Central's David Anderson. That coming out of the timeout. You know what happened there is Robin saw what Paul did, called the timeout through a touchdown pass. He calls the timeout, figures we can do that too, and missed it by just a couple of inches. Tight formation now for the North, and Schultz is going to get out of one tackle, leaps over another, still on the run is Schultz. And it's going to be a gain of about 6, and whistles blow. Coach Rosemeyer is going to call a timeout, it looks like, or I thought he did. Clock continues to roll, though, so I guess I'm wrong. Although Coach is all the way out on the field. It just looked like he was calling a timeout, but instead he was just motioning to his offense, probably to stay out there, and we're going to keep the clock rolling. We don't want to give the South the ball again before halftime. That makes sense to me now. Third down. Third down and up the middle and not going to get there. Handoff to Brock Nason. Again, he's out of Shell Lake. Now the timeout comes. We'll keep it here with 29 seconds left. So timeout for the North after a gain of 3 from Nason. Now he's over 100. He's got 102. So 7 carries, 102 yards for Shell Lake's Brock Nason. 11 carries, 112 yards for Northwood Solon Springs' Jared Schultz. So a pair of 100-yard rushers in the first half here for the North All-Stars. South on the ground, they also have a 100-yard rusher, and that comes in the way of Montello's Xander Jones. So 3 100-yard rushers in the first half. And for most people, this is why this 8-player football is such an exciting and such a growing sport. It is growing rapidly, especially throughout Wisconsin. You think of the teams that we had even 6 years ago, and now we're expanding playoffs now, and I don't know if Jacob Blank and Travis Wilson will talk about this at the half. I will talk about it once the football season starts, but I would suspect that we're not done growing the playoff format for 8-player. It is expanded for this coming fall, and I would suspect in a couple of years it'll expand again as the sport continues to grow and continues to grow in popularity due to its excitement. Tush push, and North ahead for the first down as that was Nason pushing Schultz and pushes him ahead for a gain of 4. A flag on the play. And officials didn't like that tush push that was happening there. So this one's going to be marched off. It's a 5-yard penalty. So it's still 4th down, 24 seconds to play. And the clock winds from there. The South will be happy for that clock to run. Here's North now on the 4th down. Schultz back to pass, looking, avoids one rush, flips it up, caught, and will it be enough for the first down? It is, as the pass is complete to Chad Kinsella. So Kinsella brings it down to the 7. They needed the 9. He got to the 7. And 1st and goal now with 5 seconds to play. So now we'll call the timeout. We will take that timeout. Back in 30 seconds, final play of the first half coming up right after this on Zaleski Sports.
Coaches teach your kids to dream. Coaches teach your kids to overcome. Coaches teach your kids good sportsmanship. Coaches teach your kids proper technique. But who teaches your coaches?
All right, Robin Rosemeyer, the Hall of Famer, drawing one up in the huddle right now for his North All-Stars. They call it time. Waiting for him on the sideline. We will talk to Coach about his first half. But first, we've got what probably is one final play. 5 seconds left on the clock. I suppose we could squeeze in 2 on a quick incomplete pass, but most likely we will get a timeout South. Most likely. Let's hit. We'll go one more time. We're going to just take a break one more time before the half. Football right after this on Zaleski Sports.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 180,000 participants here in Wisconsin who take part in high school sports.
All right, a game of dueling timeouts. North takes the timeout offensively, draws one up. South Brain Trust takes a look at the formation, says, yeah, we're going to call a timeout too. Defend it. So the dueling timeouts, 5 seconds left here in this half. Here's Jared Schultz, back to pass, across the middle, and Anderson, touchdown, North. On the in route is Anderson. 6-yard touchdown strike to McDonald Central's David Anderson. Jared Schultz fires in another touchdown. And it is 36-20 North. Yeah, Jacob told us before the game, right, that North is on a 3-year winning streak, and they've got a nice 16-point cushion ready to hit the halftime showers. Looking for 4 straight. Motion man is Anderson, and we got all kinds of razzle-dazzle. Throwback all the way to Schultz, and he's in to score. How did they find time at the dorm in Stevens Point to come up with that play? That's what I want to know. They had 4 practices, folks. 4 practices. How do they find time to come up with that play? It is because they are all-stars. That's why. That quick pass over the middle, by the way, only took 3 seconds. So we've got 2 seconds left before the halftime. So we'll get a kickoff out of this yet. And an 18-point halftime lead for the North. Yeah, North, they practiced at UW-Stevens Point, as a matter of fact. And the South All-Stars practiced right here in Oshkosh all week long. The games going on tomorrow. We've got the small school and the large school 11-player tomorrow on FanDuel, if you get that network. And those schools were hosted by River Falls and Whitewater and places all around the state. But North practiced at UW-Stevens Point during the week and somehow came up with a reverse throwback and run in for a 2-point conversion. I don't know how you find time for all that, but they did. So kickoff here is another squibber that's going to be touched, and the time will run out. Still on his feet, though, is Mitchell Moser of Oakfield, and Moser looking for any room, couldn't find it, and our halftime is now. It's a 38-20 lead, and all offense. So there is a punter on both sides. But the punter's not used, not in this first half. Again, it was all offense here for both teams. North scored on every possession. There was 1 turnover on downs by the South, so only 1 possession from either team came up empty, and an offensive showcase here in this one as Jacob Link is standing by with the North head coach, Robin Rosemeyer.
All right, Coach, you guys are up 18 points at the half. What went well for you guys in that first 2 quarters?
I guess we were able to keep the ball moving offensively. Got the 1 big stop defensively. We kind of out-possessioned them by 1 and were able to score on 1 possession. Stop them from scoring on 1 possession. So the 5 touchdowns to 3, most because we had 1 more possession than them. So they're going to get the second half to start, and then we got a stop in this first series will be big.
And then what are you guys looking to do in that second half, to seal the victory?
You can't give up a big play on defense here. Make them earn some stuff, and then we can't make anything easy. Offensively, we return the ball over and get negative plays. So just be a consistent football team. Keep grinding down the clock a little bit. Just get first downs. And if a big play happens, it happens.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Jason, back to you.
All right, thank you. That was the North head coach Robin Rosemeyer as his squad leads the South 38-20. Had a chance to talk to Coach Rosemeyer yesterday, and here is that talk for our halftime entertainment. Back here to Titan Stadium, UW Oshkosh, the 8-player All-Star game, and we now are joined by the North All-Stars head coach Robin Rosemeyer. Coach, we want to talk a whole lot about your team, but first, congratulations. In April, you will be inducted and known forever as a Hall of Famer. Congratulations. Just tell us about when that news came to you and how you received that news.
I got the phone call about 10 days ago from John Polk, who was pretty high up at the WFCA. And so when I saw his name on my phone, I figured it had something to do with camp this week, at the WFCA All-Star game. So that was my thinking, he's got news for me about something. And so when he broke that news, obviously I was taken aback by it, surprised by it, very humbling day, just thinking about it. So, yeah, it was kind of a nice surprise, obviously.
Well, it's a great accomplishment, obviously an honor for all the time and dedication that you've put into this sport of football. And the result of it is you'll be known forever. And that's a great accomplishment. Congratulations again. Let's talk about this year's All-Star team. The first I want to talk about, it's what people at home always ask, is how do these coaches, they take these, and they're the best of the best, right? But they take these players from all corners of the state and they put them together with a handful of practices and are able to form a team out of that. How are you able to do that with some of these kids that maybe have never even met each other before?
Yeah, that is a challenge. And first of all, you have to get good assistant coaches that I've been able to really get well at. Another coach from Gilman, Tom Talley, runs our defense. He's great with kids. Richard Crouse helps him out, who's from Clayton on the defensive side. And then we run the Clayton offense, which is some spread stuff with Jordan LeBlanc, who's been a head coach in this game before and an assistant. So that helps. And then Todd Rail from Flambeau High School is another offensive assistant. So we got good coaches. But it is not easy to mesh because you're dealing with a lot of different terminology, different movements, different formations, all that stuff, offensively and defensively. You got to try to make it work in a week. But at the same time, these kids are all-stars, and they're pretty intelligent, and they're athletic, and that makes life a little easier. But there's still a process to it, though, to make it work. And we're still building to that finish yet.
Across the line of scrimmage from you after the whistle blows be the team in red. I know you've got a process in place during the regular season on how to get ready for that next week's opponent through film study and familiarity and all those kinds of things. Tell us about the challenge of another all-star team on Friday night.
Yeah, and so we've done a good job with Paul Micklig running the South team, is sharing formations with each other, what we're going to do offensively. So that helps. We don't want to surprise each other. We want to make it a nice game where we're kind of prepared for each other in that sense. So, we shared formations and what's going on. Even though you kind of got to prepare for 8 to 10 formations, it's still a lot, but it gives you a start anyway of what you can do. So you can try to get kids in the right spot and kind of know what to expect. They're kind of running the Highland offense. So we did scout the Highland football team just on YouTube, get some things that we can see it live. It's nice to see the formations, but you still want to see the plays. So we're able to do some scouting in that sense.
Let's talk about
watching the Newman defense, which we've faced as Gilman because they're running the defense, and so there's a little familiarity to that too.
Let's talk about the offense. You mentioned the Clayton style. So tell us a little bit more about that style. And then what are first quarter, what are you expecting out of these guys in that first quarter?
That's a good question. We were just talking about that today in practice, just getting off to a good start and recognizing, even though we kind of know what they're going to do defensively, you're still not certain. But just kind of recognize formations, our defensive setups. We're hoping for a fast start, just to play well, play clean, not put yourself in a bad spot where you get down early, do positive things. And I'm sorry, there might have been another question with that. What was the other thing?
Tell us a little bit more about the philosophy on the offense. What will it look like?
Oh, I see. Yes. So it is more of a spread. When kids make All-State, you kind of have to ask them to play, which makes sense. You have to ask them to play in the All-State game. So we do. And a lot of those, you have receivers that have played in a spread offense before, seems like. And so it's in Gilman, we run a double tight offense with 2 tight ends. So we couldn't really do that. So with Clayton spread, where you spread people out, quarterback, 1 running back, 3 receivers, that's kind of the philosophy we went with. We're going to have a little Gilman flavor into the game just to, do something different with the kids. But it's just a nice spread offense that they run. They've had success with it in that Clayton school, and he's had success with it in the All-Star game in the past. So it kind of made sense just to stick with that style.
Let's talk about the defense a little bit. I'm a bit of a defensive guy myself. Defense may be a little simpler to get up to speed, right? Who's my key? Where do I go? My guy next to me, whatever position might be playing, right? Who's your key? Okay, now I think we can figure this thing out. Is that going to hold true in this All-Star game?
Yes and no. Some kids are just taught differently at their school, who their key is. Some teams like to play all man-to-man defense. Some like to play zone. So we're kind of more of a zone team. We're playing the Gilman defense. We're more of a zone team. And so that's a challenge. That's the biggest challenge, is getting kids to learn how to play a zone defense, the communication and everything for alignments. And so that can be a challenge. You would think it would be easier because you just got to go play football sometimes. But just that transition has not been always the easiest.
And then lastly, just about the team in general, over the last few days and what it's been 4 or 5 practices, what do you think what you've learned most about your team that you've got on the field?
Kind of like I mentioned before, that you get some intelligent kids. So when I talk about that transition, they're picking it up. They're getting it. It's just different, but it just takes some time. Yeah, they're just really good kids. Intelligent, smart. They've been very courteous to each other. They really started bonding about Tuesday. After that Tuesday night practice, just seemed like it was a good practice. Really started bonding. We made a quick trip together as a team, and you could just see the difference that they're starting to loosen up a little bit. It is kind of getting, there's a comfort level when you first begin that they got to get over, because you're just around new kids you don't know. But I would say by Tuesday night, after showing up Monday, we had 3 practices in. They really started bonding better, and you can see that. That just makes everything more enjoyable for everybody.
Aside from the game, there's a big reason that we're playing this game, Coach, and we'll wrap up with this, and that's to bring awareness and some fundraising to the Children's Hospital. Tell us about how your guys have taken on that task of helping these kids out.
Yeah, they did a good job fundraising. Every kid has to raise a minimum of $750. We actually had the 2 boys from earlier that were our top 2 fundraisers from the same school that each raised over $2,000. And so that was good that they did a really good job fundraising in that sense. It goes to a great cause with Children of Wisconsin. We've talked to our players about some specific examples. We're practicing here in Stevens Point, and the large school team is also here. And they have a player that had leukemia when he was young and got treated at Children of Wisconsin. So it's kind of a close personal thing, being that they can see the kid on the next field of practice and went through this process with Children of Wisconsin. So you can kind of relate it, personally, and just why they did the fundraising. And they did a really good job.
Coach Robin Rosemeyer, good luck.
Yeah, thank you. We're looking forward to the game. It's going to be a tough one. This whole team's got some really good players.
Well, we're looking forward to it as well. As a matter of fact, we'll have kickoff right after this on Zaleski Sports. Okay, all right. I said earlier, nobody knows more about high school football in the state of Wisconsin other than Travis Wilson, and our Jacob Link is standing by Travis right now. Go ahead, Jacob.
All right, Travis. So my first question for you during this halftime report is, what have you seen so far in this one?
Well, it's a high-scoring game, which is not to be, unexpected in the 8-player game. We usually get high-scoring games in 8-player in general, and especially games. Hopefully it stays competitive. Last year we actually had a competitive 8-player game. It was 36-34. South is down a couple scores, or 3 scores now, I guess. But hopefully they can get back into it. But I thought it would be tough. Jared Schultz from Northwood Solon Springs is really, really good, and he's kind of driven that train for the North here. So it's going to be, it's going to be tough for South to contain him. But hopefully we can make it close and hopefully have a competitive game down the stretch.
So then, what does the South need to do to get back in this one?
They got to find a way to stop Jared Schultz in that offense. I can't remember if there's been a time that the North had the ball that they didn't score. So, they're down enough that they have to get stops. And, if they don't get stops, it doesn't matter if they get things going offensively. So the South has to get stops, find a way, which is hard enough in 8-player football in general. But, with the athletes that the North is able to put out there, it's going to be tough.
And then what does this game mean, not only for the kids in the WFCA, but also Children's Wisconsin? What does it mean for all these different groups here today?
Well, it is a great week for everybody that is involved in this game. For the kids, it's such an awesome experience. It's a really unique experience for them as well. In basketball and baseball, there's all kinds of AAU stuff and different things where you play with other people from different places, and you don't get that as much in football. And so the WFCA All-Star Games are really a chance for kids to get together with people. Maybe they played against them as a rival in high school, and they all say what a great week it is for them to be able to kind of have that camaraderie. And there's a lot of kids that make lifelong friends in this event. And obviously the impact that it has on Children's Wisconsin. We saw the donation at halftime, $350,000 the WFCA is able to donate as a result of the fundraising efforts from the players, from the coaches participating in the game. And I really love the 8-player game, especially at the All-Star Games, because there's a lot of people that don't watch 8-player. If it's not in their area, if it's not in their community, they don't really get to be familiar with it. And so this is kind of a spotlight opportunity for 8-player to be able to shine and people to see how good 8-player football is. Let's be honest. It's hitting, it's tackling, there's good players, there's college football players that play in this, and I really love that aspect of it, being able to showcase the 8-player game.
So then give me a little season preview for 2025. What is it going to look like in the 8-man division this year?
Well, 8-player is kind of unpredictable a lot of times, right? Because it's a small roster, they're small schools, the margin for error is pretty big, but there are some teams that are kind of there every year. We don't really have a lot of new teams for 8-player. We're mid-cycle for teams making the switch from 11 to 8-player. So it's not like we're adding a bunch of schools. An 8-player, it's plateaued a little bit in terms of the teams moving to 8-player. But, again, a lot of the same names are going to be towards the top. But again, it's such a small margin for error that it really makes it pretty exciting. But, those schools, Owen Withy and McDonald Central and some of those schools, they're going to be around just like they have been kind of in the 8-player era. But excited to see what new teams can maybe pop up.
Well, awesome. Thank you for your time, Travis. It was great to talk to you at halftime. And Jason, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Again, I said nobody knows more football than Travis Wilson, and we were so excited to have him down there. Had a chance to talk to Coach Paul Micklig yesterday. Here is my chat with Paul. And we first visit with Paul Micklig, South All-Stars head football coach. Coach, the question that people at home want to know about is this. You've got kids coming from all areas of the state, obviously southern half, but they're coming from all corners. You get these kids all on the same page in such a short amount of time.
It's definitely a challenge. Luckily, I've been fortunate enough to be a part of this for a few years, so you kind of learn as you go of how they're going to come together, and you're panicking at first and thinking they're not going to come together, but it's pretty amazing. I was told that they would come together at first, and it's going to take a little time on the field, and it does. It takes a day or two, but these guys are all stars for a reason. This is not like coaching the regular season team, where it takes 4 or 5 practices just to learn how to take a snap. This is more of these guys can jump in here, get into this offense, running the offense, and by the 3rd, 4th practice, it's pretty smooth. And obviously, we just got done with our practice this morning, and it's like a well-oiled machine. And I know, talking to our OC, who's never done the All-Star game before, Jason from Highland, after like the 3rd practice, he's like, is this going to get better, or are we in trouble? And I go, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Just trust me on it. And then he came back after the 4th and 5th practice and said, yeah, you're right. It's going to be okay. This thing's going to be perfect. No, but seeing these kids come together from all the aspects of different backgrounds, is always the special part of it. And this year, honestly, this team, the 22 guys that we have, some of the most, every time I called them, I was getting them, inviting them to the team. First of all, we had 22 kids. All 22 said yes. All 22 raised their money. All 22, I didn't have to do any of that. All 22 said, thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Please. They're not just, there's a reason why these kids are talented. This is going to be the best 8-man all-star team that I've been a part of. I'm not saying we're going to win or lose, but I just know overall 8-man has grown, and the football game itself is going to be tremendous.
Yeah, I said these kids are coming from all corners of the state, but these are the best of the best coming from all corners of the state. Tell me a little bit about game plan. You mentioned, in a regular season format game or even a playoff game, you've got some film you can watch. Perhaps you played that team once already, or you played them the year before. How do you get ready for the other guys on the other side of the line of scrimmage? How does that work for this game?
They back and again, Coach Rosemeyer and me, we've gone back, so it's always good when you work with somebody.
And as we get ready for the second half, we turn back to fieldside. Jacob Link with the South All-Stars head coach Paul Micklig.
All right, Coach. So first off, what does it mean to some of these kids to be out here this afternoon playing this great game of football?
Yeah, for a lot of these kids, this might be the last 24 minutes that they play in their life, probably about half of them. So it's pretty special to be out here, great crowd, and so it's exciting for these kids, and they've had a great week, and hopefully we can play a good second half.
And then what do you guys need to do in the second half to get back in this contest?
Well, we got to stop them at least sooner or later here, and hopefully we made those adjustments at halftime. They're a good team, obviously. We're a good team, so we got to make a stop and see what we can do. Because offensively, I think we've been lights out.
Awesome, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jacob. And that was the South All-Stars head coach Paul Micklig. The rest of his interview, and if you missed Robin Rosemeyer's interview, either of those interviews are on Facebook. They're on YouTube. You can watch them over and over and over again to your heart's content. So we'll take a commercial break and second half action coming up right after this on Zaleski Sports.
We're back with Better Halves. Jane is looking for a better health plan. Jane?
I need someone who'll make time for me. So, how would you two get to know me?
You want time? I'll keep you on hold all night long.
He sounds gross.
Jane, I'm Steve from security. I won't treat you like a number. I've got award-winning service and coverage made just for you.
Now that's better. Next up, networks.
Hi, I'm Josh Marks, owner of Infinity Exteriors. 9 out of 10 brand new roofs can't pass a simple manufacturer warranty inspection, meaning 9 out of 10 brand new roofs have no warranty. Infinity operates on principles instilled in my Marine Corps service: honor, courage, and commitment. Infinity is meticulous craftsmanship, unbeatable quality, and always at the best price. Infinity buys more, pays less, passing those savings directly to you. We're booking new roofs, siding, and windows. Call today.
All right, we come back here just moments away from kickoff in the second half, and we'll take a look at our first half leaders. First, from the south, it is Xander Jones out of Montcary's, 114 yards for Jones, and it's been quite an evening for Xander. And we see here he's going to head over to Concordia University in the fall with 12 carries, over 100 yards for Xander Jones. That is your first half leader for the South All-Stars. And we'll take a look at the top performer from the north, and I'm sure everybody that's been watching this game knows who this is. Jared Schultz out of Northwood Solon Springs. Yeah, on the ground, 164 yards on 4 touchdowns. Jones also has tossed a couple of touchdowns, had a nice job passing the ball as well. Xander Jones has done a little bit of everything out here, and he's going to head to River Falls in the fall, as a matter of fact. So yeah, we'll see what Xander Jones and Jared Schultz have in store for us here in this second half. The second half football just about to start. Again, Jason Zaleski here. Hope you've all been enjoying the broadcast so far. And big thanks again to Travis Wilson, WisSports.net. Nobody does high school football better in this state of Wisconsin than Travis Wilson. We thank him again for joining us in the halftime. Coaches Paul Micklig, Robin Rosemeyer joining us at halftime, and in a long-form interview that I did with both of those coaches yesterday. And those interviews can be played in full on Facebook and YouTube at any time of your choosing. Katie Lecton on production, Jacob Link on the sideline. Ben's down there getting highlights. Again, highlights of this game will be available on Facebook on Sunday. You see all the best of the action that Ben has put together on Sunday as kick return out to about the 20, and the second half is underway. The return handled by Brody Feldman, Elkhart Lake. Brody he's kind of like the informal mayor over there, like the honorary mayor of Elkhart Lake. People that know him. Totally making that up, but probably, right? I mean, he's an all-star football player. Why wouldn't he get respect back at home? Okay, so the South trails by 18. They'll get the ball first. Start on offense first anyway. And this is Kuhn back to pass. Has Phillips out here to this near side. Phillips cuts back in. And now on the move, Phillips across the 35. And again, Katie, let's take a look at the South offense. There we go. And again, Jonah Kuhn, Xander Jones, Aiden Phillips, Jacob Kuhn, Brody Feldman, Tucker Dagenhart, Calvin Gonering, and Evan Groen. Offensive starters for the South All-Stars. And a first down on the pass catch from Phillips. 18-yard pass reception. Here's Jones, our first half player spotlight, pushed out after a gain of 3 for Jones. Phillips, by the way, 3 catches, 66 yards, touchdown in there as well. So Aiden Phillips, 6'7" target for the boys in red. But again, they trail by 18. We heard Travis talk about it at the half, Travis Wilson with sports.net. And he and a lot of us are, pulling. I don't know, cheering is too strong a word, but we're pulling for the South to tighten this one up, see if we can get some excitement as we head into the fourth quarter. So here's Kuhn now. He'll launch to Phillips and brought it in. Contested catch, Aiden Phillips. And he gives a head nod right down to our Jacob Link down there. Phillips brings in another one. Gain of 30 on the play to Phillips. So 3 plays and 2 pass hookups from Kuhn to Phillips. And South on the move. There's Kuhn with Jones behind him. Handoff goes to Jones, straight up the middle. He'll rumble ahead for 6 on the carry. And let's go ahead to pull up the North defense for us, Katie. We'll remind everybody who we're looking at here. Daniel Fritz, Devin Soltis, Dominic Sherwood, Gavin Moore, Landon King, Luke Smith, Mason Gay, and Tommy Phillips, your starters for the North defensively. Just a few minutes off of our first half clock, and already down inside the 15 after this run from Jones are the South. Down to the 14, a gain of 5 on the carry. So 1st and 10 from the 15. South now slows their tempo in the huddle. Make sure to get that play right. This is important now. Want to start off on the right foot. You heard Coach Mikelig talk to Jacob Link about that right before kickoff. Want to start well. Blitz coming from the outside. Kuhn rolls left. We'll tuck it, and we'll get out of bounds after a gain of 3. That was just the 4th run today for Jonah Kuhn. 4 carries, 19 yards. Ten pass completions on the day for Jonah Kuhn. And again, we have not had a punt yet in this game. South had a turnover on downs. That's been it. Every other possession from either side has been a touchdown. No punts. The flip to Jones, right side, bangs into 1, and then bang down. It'll be a gain of 2. In on the tackle is Shea Denzine of Phillips. Shea helped bang down Jones. Tristan and Anishinaabe. Boy, I hope I'm saying that right. All chatting with us in the chat box. Again, those of you on a mobile device, feel free to chat with us online. Let me know what I'm getting wrong. Let me know what I'm getting right. Like, you gotta give me some even feedback. If you just, if it's one side or the other, I kind of ignore it. 3rd and 5 from the 10. 2 receivers to the left of Kuhn. He'll tuck now and run right side. Now throws and threw late. Kuhn had a decision there. He could have challenged the pylon for a touchdown. That was decision 1. But then saw a receiver in the back of the end zone come open late and did uncork that pass and then threw it behind the intended receiver. In the end, it's an incomplete pass intended for Brody Feldman. So that's going to bring up 4th down. And it's touchdown or bust drive now for South. Kuhn gets the play from the sideline, now heads into the huddle. .30 left here in the 3rd. Opening drive of the second half. Here it is to Feldman now. Feldman looks for a block to seal the corner and pushed through and pushed out. And that was Landon King out of Clayton to force the ball carrier out of bounds, and Feldman comes up short. Nice job there defensively from Landon King. Again, Clayton's King Turnover on downs. The defense for North buckles down inside the 15. So 1st and 10 now for the North. King comes to the sideline, gets a big gulp of water. Well earned. Maybe even after the game, his daddy will buy him a sody pop. Say, nice tackle, son. That was good. Here's a handoff to Nason. And Nason's going to scratch out a couple. Katie just shakes her head at me. You know, I remember once upon a time, a couple years ago, Katie had sent me a message. Hey, you should come over here and do a game with me. Now you probably regret that request. Yeah. Oh, I'm hard to pin down. I'm kind of like Jell-O. A little squirmy. Here's the flip forward now to Kinsella. And Kinsella will gain a yard. That's going to bring up 3rd, and scoreboard's going to say 4 to 5. We'll give Kinsella 2 yards then. That's the only way that math adds up. Short gain, either way you scratch it. So it's 3rd down. 3rd and what I like to call a long 4. Jared Schultz puts one in motion. Schultz on the keep and still pushing, still running. Schultz looks like he was going to be bottled up in the offensive line, and the rest of the blue shirts push Schultz across the line. He was going to gain about 2. He's going to come up about a yard short, but with help from his friends, he's going to end up gaining 6 and a 1st down. Teamwork. If anybody wants to, you find those corny posters in the offices somewhere, right? Teamwork, and they show like a herd of elephants, picking apples or something. Well, that was teamwork right there. Actually, they show the herd of elephants lifting up a mouse to grab the apple. Okay, that's usually what happens. So that was a herd of elephants. Those motivational posters are corny. Here's Schultz now. Schultz still on the move. And again, Travis Wilson told us at halftime, if you can't stop Jared Schultz, you're not going to stop the North from winning this game. And that was an 11-yard run there for Schultz. 13 carries, coming up on 130 yards for Schultz on the day. Yeah, and obviously, Travis smart about football. I agree as well. I'm a little less smart than Travis probably, but that seemed to be the synopsis at halftime, right? If you can stop Jared Schultz, then maybe climb back in this one. If you can't, you just might as well forget about it. With an 18-point lead, halfway through the 3rd quarter now already, after the Schultz incomplete pass, going to bring up a 2nd down. And it seems simple, right? But yeah, the Northwood Solon Spring star, Jared Schultz, showing off and showing why he's an all-star here to the rest of the state here this evening. So 2nd and 10 from their own 41. Schultz, play action pass. Under some pressure, but no problem there. And wide open is Nason. Nason down the sideline to the 30, to the 20, and he's finally tripped up. Tackle made by Brendan Beck, but a huge pass completion from Schultz to Nason. 42 yards on the hookup. Three catches today for Nason. He's got 73 yards and a touchdown through the air. Brock Nason again out of Shell Lake. The Lakers, right? I think so. Tough yards here from Schultz, and he'll earn all 5 of them.
Schultz on the carry. 2nd
I don't pretend that I memorize all 500 mascots around the state, but for whatever reason, Shell Lake, from what's in my mind is just a memory. I'm just somewhat guessing, but yeah, the Shell Lake Lakers. But I think they've got a turtle as a mascot, don't they? You don't think so? I'm just goofy. All right. As a speedboat comes down the Fox River, here's a speedboat in blue, the North All-Stars, down inside the 10. Handoff to Nason, and touchdown North. 7-yard touchdown sprint ahead by Brock Nason, as the South All-Stars defensively were on their heels that entire trip down the field. Drive of about 90 yards. Lightning fast for the North All-Stars. Again, they came into this one winning the last 3 All-Star games and in good position to move it to 4 straight. 2-point conversion pending. And easy work there. The flip to Colin Fritz. Fritz out of Owen Withey. And Fritz hauls in the 2-point catch. And the North all over the South here in this 2025 Wisconsin Football Coaches Association All-Star Game on Zaleski Sports.
Hey, Fleet Farm fans, you asked, we listened. You wanted lower prices? You got them. In-store, online. We drop prices everywhere. Lower prices on summer favorites like Liquid Pool Shock, Griller's Gold Barbecue Pellets, and airhead prices on big name pet care like Purina Tidy Cats. Lower prices on Valvoline motor oils. All because you said so. Look for the bright green price drop signs to find new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life. Only at Fleet Farm.
All right, back here it is 46-20 North, and Jacob Link has some insight for us from the sideline.
Thanks, Jason. Now as North heads back out there on the defensive side, they've had a couple of very strong defensive possessions here, and they've really been led by Dominic Sherwood out of Owen Withey. He's part of the defending state champion team. He leads this North squad with 11 tackles. He was an all-state player as well, and he's given them a bend, don't break mentality. Jason, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jacob, as South is going to come back on the field now offensively and have a favorable field position as that kickoff went out of bounds, so they're going to mark this up the field. But 4:14 to play here in the third. 26 points, that's the deficit for the South, so they're going to have to get on the giddy up here soon. And going to mark this at the 35. Yep, there they go. So on the kickoff out of bounds, automatic spot on the 35. But whatever the South has for quick hitters, big bangs, all that kind of stuff, you gotta start unleashing it now. But again, just 4 days of practice, you only have so many plays in the book. So up against it for sure. North in charge right now. Here's the South though. 4 receivers for Kuhn, and directing traffic, and throws to the sideline and out of bounds off the fingertips of Brody Feldman on the pass from Jonah Kuhn. Second down there. Again, Xander Jones had some big runs in that first half for the South All-Stars. A run of 29, 17 yards, 12 yards. I mean, a handful of double-digit runs for Jones. You take a look at the clock and, you start to think, is there enough time left on the clock to keep feeding my workhorse? And the answer for second down is no, as Jones left on the sideline. Now 4 receivers, 3 to the left of Kuhn as he drops back to pass. Does look that way. And pass is complete over to Carson Rice. Rice out of Newman Catholic in Wausau. And he'll pick up about 5 on the play. Call it 6. Nope, call it 5. Right the first time. Carson Rice, but of course we all know he goes by Cosmic Rice. Yeah, he does. He's cosmic. He's somewhat of an astronaut. So I was first introduced to him as Cosmic Rice. So third down, call it 3rd and 6. Here's Kuhn now. And after a couple pump fakes, is going to find his big target, Aiden Phillips. And that'll be enough for a South first down. 10 yards on the completion to Phillips. He continues his monster day. He's at 109 yards receiving now on 5 catches. Clock winds under 3 minutes here in the third. Again, just on the banks of the Fox River, just south of Lake Butamore, east of Lake Winnebago, beautiful Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Here's Kuhn back to pass, play action, and threw late and complete anyway to Brody Feldman. Had to double clutch it, did Kuhn, and then for the South All-Stars. Kuhn now flips outside to Jones. Jones, big head of steam, and he will gain 11 on the carry. And again, he's had success all game long, but the question for the coaching staff is, do we have enough time to just keep handing off? We're down by 26. How many handoffs can we get in a full quarter in a couple of minutes? The thought process on that far sideline right now is how many times can we go to him? Sure, he can get 10 at a time, but we're going to need 7, 8, 9 handoffs to get down the field. That's going to burn a lot of time. So how do we make this all work? Kuhn, play action now, pivot, weak side, throw towards the end zone and caught! Touchdown! Brody Feldman. So maybe there's an answer. A balanced attack, couple handoffs to Jones, couple passes. Jonah Kuhn uncorks the 38-yard touchdown pass to Brody Feldman, and there's a much-needed 6 for the South. So they will line up for 2, down by 20. Just every point matters at this time. And may not have been able to field a place kicker anyway, but the 2-point conversion will fail, and the score will remain North 46, South 26 on Zaleski Sports.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eclair.
Jane, I'm Steve from Security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
Rich, creamy, and fun. Point Craft Soda. Caffeine-free, made with 100% real sugar. From Stevens Point Brewery.
All right, a little bit of energy for the South. And what the South needs now is to take that offensive energy, turn it to a stout defense, and force, you would have to think at this point, probably got to force 1 or 2 turnovers here. At the very least, a punt, a turnover on downs. Got to be able to squeeze the ball loose from these North All-Stars. Here's the kickoff return handled by Anderson, and across the 30 he comes, and then spilled by Mitchell Moser. So Moser out of Oakfield on the tackle. Being told in the chat box, yeah, Turtle Lake, the other Lakers. Now maybe Turtle Lake Lakers have a turtle as the mascot then. Maybe that's what it is. Again, there's 500 mascots plus around the state. Mascots are my favorite thing. People don't know that, but the mascots are my favorite thing. I can't keep track of 500. I got like 350 of them nailed down. The other 150 a little slippery. Speaking of slippery, there goes Brock Nason slipping through the middle of the South defense. A pickup of 6 on the carry. So 10 carries for Nason now, 117 yards on a really nice day running the ball. Also a handful of catches for Nason, including a touchdown catch reception. Jared Schultz able to distribute the ball and distribute to himself. Here it is. Schultz to himself. Cuts in front of one. Jukes in front of another. Look at the jump cut from Schultz. Still on the run. Punishing defenders all the way to the 50. 12-yard run. And you're not going to find one much more entertaining than that one. A juke, a jump, and then a truck. Those were all the buttons on the Xbox controller that Schultz was hitting as he ran through the South defense. Working both joysticks out there. It's a handoff to the deep back, and South defense was up to the challenge that time. As the ball handled there by Mason Gay. First carry for Gay today, and they'll give him 1 on the tote. And that is the last play of the third quarter. We move to the fourth. It is 46-26. North in the lead. Jump around time here in Oshkosh. Jump around at home too, will you? Back for more football right after this on Zaleski Sports.
The work that you put in is the work you're going to get out. It starts in the weight room, focusing on those fundamentals, whether it's throwing form, hitting form, running form. So that way when you come to the game, you're not really thinking about them. In my sessions with Carter at WPI, I kind of learned how to be very strong and very flexible at the same time.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now. All right, we will quickly head down to the field for Jacob Link.
South wide receiver Brody Feldman gave them a huge boost on the scoreboard on their last offensive possession with a nice touchdown. You know, at Elkhart Lake, he was kind of a touchdown machine. He had 19 over the course of last season. But really, South is going to have to rely on his defense now to put their offense back out on the field and hopefully narrow this deficit even more. Back to you, Jason.
All right, thanks, Jacob. And as the words were coming out of your mouth, it's another first down run from Jared Schultz, 10 yards. As he continues to pile it on. It's his 16th carry, well over 150 yards now. And according to the stats that were just given to me, that was the 16th carry, 170 yards on the day for Schultz. So WisSports' Travis Wilson gave us that update at halftime. You got to be able to stop Schultz. That has not happened. And North continues to be in control of this game. Here's Mason Gay now. And Gay sprints over the right side. He'll pick up 15 on the carry. Owen Withy, our 2024 8-player state champions. And a couple from Owen Withy on this roster. How about a trio, actually? Dominic Sherwood, Mason Gay, and Colin Fritz, state champions, were the Owen Withy Blackhawks in November of 2024. And by the way, with Turtle Lake, thank you, Isaiah. Isaiah getting me straight on Turtle Lake and Shell Lake. Another tough run executed by Nason. And he'll pick up 7 on the carry, does Nason. 10:20 left in this ball game, and I was just thinking this: will the North attempt now to slow it down, start to run some clock? And as I was thinking it, they were doing it in the huddle, just starting to calm things down here just a bit. They lead by 20, and on the march yet again. Here goes Schultz now. Schultz around the right side, still on his feet, and finally pulled down right between Jake and Ben down there with their brand new Zaleski Sports jackets on. A couple of new teammates here for us at Zaleski Sports. A few more yards there for Schultz. And it's going to be 1st and goal right from the 10. So 4 downs at the disposal of the North All-Stars. And a touchdown here. And you can likely start thinking about nighttime plans. Here's Gay, and Gay stays on his feet. He uses that left hand to keep himself upright. He'll gain 5 on the carry. Gay demonstrated great balance during his career at Owenawithy and showed it off here as an all-star. 3 points of contact, gave himself another 2 or 3 yards. Young football players watching at home, rewind to watch that again. Here's the pitch now to Gay. Gay sprint to the outside, and he's going to be hauled down. Nice tackle there from Wes Krasinger. Going to hold Gay to a gain of 1 on the carry. And that's going to bring up 3rd and goal. Still 2 downs. Should the North not score here on this 3rd down, they've obviously got all 4 downs to use here. This is 3rd and goal inside the 5-yard line. Schultz will turn and keep it himself. Keeps himself upright, but then stood up right at the 1-yard line.
Schultz on the carry. 4th and goal from the 1.
So Schultz gains about 3, and down to the 1-yard line go the North. North had the tush push earlier, but then that was called back. So let's see what they're able to scrap together here. Nason and Gay behind Schultz in the I formation. And an early jump on that. Early jump on the left side is going to push the North back. So this is going to be, you got it right, Katie. This is going to be 4th and goal now from the 6. So a little different play call coming up for the North, and a few different players coming in. Under 8 to play by the time the ball is snapped the next time.
Like total out of everybody? $309.
So 2 receivers to the left. And this is Reynolds at the quarterback spot. Reynolds back to pass, throw, in and out of the hands of Anderson. Had it in the end zone, but let that slip free, and the South clings to some life here in this one. They're able to force the turnover on downs. I'd said before this North possession, which took about 6 minutes off the clock, so North, they had a couple goals. One of them was to score a touchdown. Another one was just take a bunch of time off the clock. They did execute on one of those goals, but my goal, my self-stated goal for the South was you got to turn them over. Either get the ball or turn them over on down somehow, some way, and they did. They do end up turning them over. Down by 27.5 to play. Is there enough time left for a dramatic comeback for these South All-Stars here on this Friday night? Kuhn rolls right, and too far now. He's got to tuck it and run, and will step out of bounds after a gain of about 8 for Jonah Kuhn. 6th carry of the day for Jonah. He's got 30 yards. So out of bounds, stop the clock, 7:28, 2nd and 2. And now on the pump fake, we'll pull it back down. Kuhn looking for options and tosses that one out of bounds. And he'll live to fight another play. Rather than force something crazy, just toss it out of bounds, and it's going to be 3rd and 2. Play took about 8 seconds, so all things told, it's not the worst outcome for the South. There's the old saying in football that you can throw the football if you want, but there's 3 things can happen when you throw the football, and 2 of them are bad. The only good thing that happens when you throw a football is a catch. 1, it can be incomplete and you lose it down. 2, you can give it to the other team. So the old football coaches, they like to run the ball. Here's a run. Bouncing is Jones, and a flag flies late, and probably a hold on top of the negative run play. So let's see what the North decides to do with the penalty. It is a hold that's called. So it's going to be 4th and a couple, or it's going to be 3rd and 12. That's the choice here for North. You likely think you put them on the 4th down, ahead by 20 especially. We'll see what they decide. And they will. And it's not even a full 10. It's half the distance, right, because we're inside the 20. So you're going to put them back about 7 yards, and it's going to stay 3rd down. So so the choice was this: it's 3rd and 9 or 4th and 2. At home, you can make the call. What would you have done? 4th and 2, up by 20. They're probably going to go for it, right? You're not going to punt. The other team's not going to punt down by 20. So, what's the upside there? It's 4th and 2. You stop them. You get the ball on the 14-yard line, but you're already up by 20. You can see how you need to make that decision, all the different things that go with it. Here's Kuhn now. Kuhn across the middle, too high for Feldman, and it's 4th down anyway for the South All-Stars. Defensive coverage in part put on by Luke Smith out of Wasaki. And in there also was Owen Withy's Dominic Sherwood, both in the neighborhood as that pass was uncorked. So 4th down, they're going for it. Again, they were going to go for it on either 4th down, but now you do have them on 4th and 9. So Coach Rosemeyer picked the right result. Obviously. Well, and here it is. And it's going to be a 1st down. They were in punt formation, weren't they, folks? The South All-Stars showed punt, and that was enough to relax the North All-Stars and a 1st down. And that punter was going to be Brody Feldman, and if we're ready, we'll send it down to Jacob Link.
Thanks, Jason Wolf. There's been 2 things so far in this contest that North has done really well, is stop the run and run the ball themselves. So far, North has 309 rushing yards on the day, and that's been because of the big fellas up front, and Alex Straddle out of Clayton and Nate Fetty out of New Auburn. Both of those big men up front have been kind of the reason why North has been pulling away in this one. Jason, back to you.
Yeah, you need the blocking, right? Thank you, Jacob. It's a team sport. You need the blocking. You do need those what they're affectionately called the big uglies up front to pave way for those, quote, skill players. In the football world, there's no animosity between that. Those that are outside of it, really, big uglies and skill players. So that's probably going to cause problems. No, it doesn't. That's an agreed upon situation when you get into the sport of football. But you need both. You need both ends of that battery to make it all work. So 2nd and 10 now for South. There's Kuhn back to pass. He's got 4 in the formation and finds big Aiden Phillips standing all alone at the 45, and he's upended a couple of yards ahead of that. It'll be a 1st down at the 49-yard line. So Aiden Phillips adds on to his 100-yard receiving day. So we come up on 6 minutes left to play here in this one. Make sure to stay tuned to our Nasonville Dairy postgame show. Nasonville Dairy, fresh cheese curds made daily. Find those cheese curds, sausage, and gift baskets, gift trays for your next corporate event or for that special someone, all at NasonvilleDairy.com. As Feldman nearly brought down the backfield, able to keep his feet. Feldman still on the run and able to make something good out of it. We saw a laser run across the field in the way of Devin Soltis. He couldn't bring him down either, and it's going to be a gain of about 4. Yeah, Nasonville Dairy, though, they ship that overnight or second day. They keep it cold. They've got the, I always want to call it the black ice. That's not what it is. The dry ice. There we go. Put it on the dry ice. They keep it cold all the way to your front door. NasonvilleDairy.com. Cheese curds, sausage, gift trays, platters, baskets, all the flavors of cheese. There's got to be about 10 million flavors of cheese over there that the Hyman family has made specially for you. Feldman back to pass, throws off his back foot. That's going to come up short as pressure was put on by Luke Smith. Again, Wasaki Smith get his name called here a few times defensively. And Nasonville Dairy postgame show includes coach and player interviews. I will be on the field, and at this point, we are lined up to talk with Coach Robin Rosemeyer. And we'll talk to our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player of the game, Jared Schultz. And maybe we'll pick out another one. I brought 2 hats with me, Katie. I got to give them out, right? Yeah. Somebody's got to get them. Kuhn under pressure. There's Soltis again, but another whiff from Soltis, and the pass complete down to Feldman. What do you think on the second player, Katie, from the north? You think so, huh? Coming on late in the game? Okay. That's a tough sell there. And, Nason's had such a big day. Well over 100 yards, couple of touchdowns. and Mason has been in the house before. So that we'll break the tie that way. Mason he's been through the Nasonville Dairy postgame show before. He has been our in-the-house player of the game. There's Kuhn back to pass. There's Phillips on the crosser. Phillips cuts back inside, stays inside. Phillips to the end zone. Touchdown. 36-yard touchdown catch for Aiden Phillips, and the catch was about 8 yards. And the rest of the 30-plus yards, Phillips dancing down the sideline and in for the score. Will we see the onside kick? Is it too early for that? Probably not. 4:39, you're down by 14. There was a penalty. It was a defensive penalty. Defensive penalty at the end anyway, so didn't quite matter. Coach Rosemeyer on the sideline asking more. And the personal foul after the touchdown was actually on the South All-Stars, so a little giving them the business after the touchdown out there. So that'll be on the kickoff, where you would suspect with 4:39 to play, down by 14, you're going to need to unleash an onside kick. South does have all 3 timeouts, so maybe you kick it, especially now that you're backed up, maybe you kick it away, and then you just got to work really hard on defense and use your timeouts to get the ball back that first time. Either way, for a comeback, you figure South is going to have to use all 3 timeouts if they were to come all the way back in this one. So you need 2 possessions. You're going to need to use timeouts to get one of the possessions anyway. So we'll see what Coach Miklig and the coaches do on the kickoff. But first, the 2-point conversion. This can be important, too. Here's Kuhn. Phillips was out there and broken up. What a play coming flying in from the corner. Mason Gay breaks up the 2-point conversion, and we will go to commercial. 4:39 to play. It's a 14-point game on Zaleski Sports.
At Ridgestop Exteriors, we're more than your average home improvement company. We're your neighbors, and for over 20 years, we've been trusted and proudly serving right here in your community. Customer service is our #1 goal. Call now for your free estimate.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
All right, here we come back, and we're going to see what the South coaches decided. Again, as I said, you're going to have to onside kick once, and you're going to have to turn it over on downs once defensively. You're going to need to have both things down by 14 with 4:39 to play. The question is, which one have the coaches decided they're going to attempt now? And the North is back in full kickoff configuration. Okay. We'll do it. So we'll see what they decide here. It's interesting, right? It's, I probably kick it away here, play good defense, see what can happen. But instructions have been given to Xander Jones. We'll see what he comes up with. Front line ready for North, and it is an onside kick, and it's recovered by North. So there it was. You pulled the trigger on it right away. And again, that could have went either way. There was not a wrong answer in there. And nice job on the cover by Colin Fritz out of Owen Withy. Get on that ball and get down. Okay, so 4:39. So you still have the 3 timeouts at your disposal. So you still have that trigger to pull. You're going to have to stop them once anyway. So now you have to. Now it is. We've reached that point right now. And a little handoff to Nason, and he'll get about a yard. Here comes the timeout. Yes? No timeout yet. Okay, I thought it was a timeout. He was doing this. I thought he was doing this, but he was just clapping. So tell Jake to stand by here. I'm sorry, I missed it. But, yeah, just stand by. Yeah, the clapping looked like a timeout to me. Okay, so it was a yard by Nason. As nightfall descending upon us here in Oshkosh. And here goes Schultz. Schultz shot out of a cannon. And that's going to be a first down as we go down for our final time today to our sideline reporter, Jacob Link.
1st and 10 for the North.
Well, South tight end Aiden Phillips has given the squad a little bit of hope in the later stages of this contest. Over the course of last year, Phillips had 15 touchdowns and over 1,100 receiving yards. He's a big, lanky tight end at 6'7" and 230 pounds. He's really taken over offensively for South. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Jacob, and thanks for all your work today, giving us great reports from the sideline. Yeah, Aiden Phillips, as Jacob told us, 6'7", over 200 pounds, and was in state basketball 2 years ago, so helped lead his Allman Bancroft Eagles to a state tournament appearance during his high school career. So 3 yards there by Schultz as he continues to pile onto his totals, nearing 200 yards. Clock now winds under 3 minutes, so the South All-Stars not going to use their timeouts here, and North happy to let that play clock run all the way down. And playing at a facility like this, we have an actual play clock in the end zone too, so it's really easy to identify how much time is left, as there's 8 seconds on the clock now. And continue to wear out the clock. Here's Schultz. Schultz had to take a step back, now reloads, stays inbound, still on the move is Schultz, and touchdown North. Jared Schultz puts the capper on a performance here to end his high school football career. The star of Jared Schultz shining bright on this Friday night. A 16-yard touchdown run, over 200 yards on the day for Jared Schultz out of Northwood Solon Springs, and puts the 50 burger on the scoreboard for the North All-Stars. What a performance. kick is up and good as Devin Soltis shows off his right leg. And all North All-Stars here today as they look now for their 4th straight All-Star Game victory on Zaleski Sports.
Coaches teach your kids to dream. Coaches teach your kids to overcome. Coaches teach your kids good sportsmanship. Coaches teach your kids proper technique. But who teaches your coaches?
Let's get down to business. Give you one more night.
Well, it's been a night for Jared Schultz here tonight. Over 200 yards on the ground, in the end zone many times, and he's showing off his crossover skills on the sideline now, and a layup finish at the rim. As Jared Schultz, his star shone bright here tonight at this All-Star game. So again, stay tuned for our Nasonville Dairy post-game show. I'll be on the field with Coach Robin Rosemeyer, quarterback Jared Schultz, and I'm going to pick a defender out there. We got to have a defensive guy. They only gave up 26 points, but it was a pretty good effort all the way around. Yeah, maybe. That one dropped and picked up, though, inside the 10. Crossed the 20, and the South All-Stars will be set up there for perhaps its final drive of the night. Brought out by Brendan Beck. So Beck sets up South from the 23. Or so it appears from here. Again, all these players tonight playing their last high school football game ever. Most of them playing their last organized football game ever. So a great chance to come out here and show off the skills one more time, and in front of a really big crowd here at Titan Stadium. Really big crowd. Again, beautiful night to be outside. Some clouds overhead. Breeze here on this Friday night. Temperature sits at about 70. As Phillips, around and around he goes after a gain of about 3. And that'll bring us under 2 minutes to play here in this 2025 Wisconsin Football Coaches Association All-Star Game. Again, we are here raising money and awareness for Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. If you can, please consider a donation to the Children's Hospital and help those less fortunate than you. Again, Children's Hospital, our beneficiary here and every year at the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association All-Star Games. Again, 8-player game now. 2 11-player All-Star games tomorrow. We turn it over to FanDuel Sports for that. South comes to the line, and again, some really good performances from guys on the South too. They just didn't quite have the tempo that North did. Made some good plays, and here's Feldman. Oh, just outside of the reach of Brody Feldman. Joe Nakun at quarterback, making plays all day long. Calvin Peters on the defensive end, solidifying that defensive effort. We've heard Aiden Phillips' name quite a few times. Brendan Beck, Jacob Kuhn, and others. But North was able to set the pace. They were, if you think about it in a running race, they were at a 6-minute mile, and South was at about a 7.5-minute mile. Both running miles, but North just clearly just had that tempo, had the pace right from the start, and never let off the gas. Pass completion goes from Kuhn to Kuhn. Jonah to Jacob. 95 seconds and counting here in Oshkosh. Here's another one that has had a really nice game today. Xander Jones. Montello's Xander Jones. He's going to run ahead for about 20 yards. As Jones over 150 on the day. So now South in a position here where they can end things on a high note and get a touchdown here, score a touchdown before they load up the bus and head back to their respective corners of the state. Another nice run there by Jones. Jones picks up 8 on that run. Both coaches in my interviews told us about the team bonding that took place, and these guys get to meet and make friends for a lifetime at an event like this. Staying in the dorms here and at UW-Stevens Point, so you get to stay in the dorms and kind of tell those campfire stories at night and go to lunch together. Go to lunch and you walk around, do what boys do. All right. Katie shakes her head. Making noise, making a mess, making a stink. Boys, that boy life, that's what that's all about. But that's how us boys come together, and we get along together like that. Who can make the most stink? Who can make the most mess? Who can make the most noise sometimes? Who can push something the furthest or throw something the furthest? Who can act the stupidest? Yeah, we all know it. There's Kuhn on the rollout, and we'll step out of bounds with 59 ticks of the clock left here tonight. It'll be a 4th down upcoming for the South All-Stars. Yeah, boys, just generally make a mockery of the whole thing. And that's what we're good at. During the day, we screw it all up, and then hopefully later on we make it better. Hopefully. It doesn't always happen, but hopefully. Because when we're making a mockery of it, we don't always notice. Sometimes we get told later. Here's the 4th down for the South All-Stars. Kuhn back to pass, double move by Phillips. Now Kuhn rolls out to his right and throws, nearly intercepted, broken up though anyway. And a turnover on downs, and the South All-Stars have lit their last fuse here on this Friday night. North will come out and likely kneel it down twice and bring an end to this one. Handshakes and high fives as the North defense comes off the field. A little more subdued on the red sideline. And victory formation for the North All-Stars. This one will be knelt down by Jared Schultz. A smattering of applause. Heard round Titan Stadium. As both sides come to their feet, the red fans and the blue fans all come to their feet to support and applaud their friends and family on the field as they perform again their last high school sporting event ever, and for most of them their last organized sporting event ever, as the final kneel down has happened. Handshakes, back pats, and attaboys given by everybody on the field and in the stands. As the final ticks of the clock here in Oshkosh. And for the 4th straight year, the North All-Stars are victorious. As our final score tonight, North 53, South 32. Time now for our Nasonville Dairy postgame show. I will be on the field shortly with Coach Robin Rosemeyer and our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player of the game, Jared Schultz. And we're going to find one more when we get down there as well. All that and more coming up right after this on Zaleski Sports.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Nasonville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, We ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Keflatiri, Kefla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Fir, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Keflatiri, Kefla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. b-bt.com.
Quarterback. One more.
At Ridgestop Exteriors, we're more than your average home improvement company. We're your neighbors, and for over 20 years, we've been trusted and proudly serving right here in your community. Customer service is our #1 goal. Call now for your free estimate.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Peach Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese be with you.
Mega Custom Apparel, your local source for quality, custom decorated clothing and products. Discover a wide range of products from corporate casual wear to team uniforms, promotional items, sporting goods, and awards. Don't settle for less. With our in-house production, we will make your name or event stand out with custom sports jerseys, branded cooler bags, and personalized can coolers. Celebrate team success with custom awards and promotional items. At Mega Custom Apparel, we put your brand first. Explore your options today at MedaCustom.com.
You're good right there. All right. Good here in our Nasonville Dairy post-game show with the victorious North All-Stars. First, Coach Robin Rosemeyer, you stepped on the gas right away. You kept the gas for the entire game on the way to the 4th straight victory for the North All-Stars here tonight.
Yeah, we had 5 straight possessions of scores in the first half. Just didn't turn the ball over, made plays. You know, we converted some 4th downs for touchdowns. Big. It's kind of kids making plays. When you can convert those, you know, sometimes as we talk to our guys, you look back at 5 or 6 plays that might win you a football game, and just those conversions early in that first half got us a nice lead at halftime.
Offense is easy to see what's going on. We can see the guys up and down the field in the end zone, but defense, a little tougher for the fans at home to dissect. Tell us about your defensive effort tonight.
Yeah, it was really good defensive effort, and they got better as the game went on. You know, we kind of gave them some things just with our pass coverage in the middle, so we had to do some things, but they didn't get the big play off of it. So defense really stepped up, did a good job. They got some conversions, but 8-man football, seems like on defense you're always a man short, and so it's tough to play defense, but they did an outstanding job. They have some great athletes over there, so to hold them to 32 is really a pretty good achievement.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, guys, come on in here. Yeah, we're right here. Here, one of these for you, one for you. Let's talk to Jared Schultz here first. Jared, over 200 yards on the ground. Now, I'm going to give you a chance to kind of congratulate the rest of the team here, right? Because without them, you're going to get tackled every play. So tell us about how you and the team were able to figure out 200 yards rushing for you tonight.
Yeah, we were just working on it all week, and we came in as strangers, but I feel like as the week went on, we actually became a football team, and with that, you know, we were still moving the ball like a midseason team, it felt like. So all credit to them. You know, without them, I'm not putting up big numbers, and it's just, I'm very grateful to play for this team.
Let's build on that here, Dominic, here with Dominic Sherwood. You know, getting to know these guys. I mean, you came with 2 teammates, but to know all the rest of these guys, what was that like here tonight?
Oh, it was great. We were roomed with all kinds of other guys. They're all good guys. They're all good athletes, so we all had stories to tell, obviously, and we just bonded, grew, and played as one big family.
Tell us about kind of capping off your football career on a night like this, bringing home one more win in your football career.
It's a great feeling, you know. I had a pretty stellar year this season with Northwood Solon Springs, and this just capped it off for my high school career. I'm going to hopefully take some of this talent over to River Falls next fall and for the next 4 years and see what we can do there.
Dominic, let's talk about the other kids, the little kids that were watching and others that, you know, were around you, and they see a guy like you participate in the sports that you did in high school. What is your advertisement to those kids to be a student athlete?
To always try your hardest and never give up on what you're doing. Some kids nowadays, they just give up and don't keep trying on what they're meant to do and stuff. So just keep trying and working your hard.
And maybe someday you get a hat.
Yeah. Get a hat. Yeah. It's all worth it.
All right, here, we got one more thing to do, so I'm going to give you the microphone. Dominic knows a little bit about this, okay? He's kind of been around some of what we did. So what we're going to do, we're going to count down 3, 2, 1. You say your name in the house, okay? This is for the highlights that come out later, all right? Make sense? So if you guys want to rehearse or talk about it, you guys know what you're saying?
I'm Dominic Schroeder, then you say you're Jared Schultz, and we're in the house.
All right.
Okay, I'll count you down from 3, okay? Right up here at the Titan on the
So we're saying over there?
Yep, on the Titan right there. 3, 2, 1.
I'm Dominic Sherwood.
And I'm Jared Schultz.
And we're in the house.
There you go, guys. Congratulations on the win, all right? Good to meet you. Congrats. Good luck going forward, okay, guys? All right, guys, so we're going to wrap it up from here. My name's Jason Zaleski, Katie Lecton. There's Ben, and there's Jacob. Everybody here doing the job, pulling this whole thing together. North, 4th straight year, All-Star champions here tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody.